Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Just, I mean, a lot of you have seen how I water stuff, but some stuff gets watered differently. Gets watered like that. And the reason it gets watered like that is because I can't be bothered to get in there and dig that flipping great basket out. Now that's not going to give it a hell of a good soaking. It's going to get it wet and it will dribble down the leaves and the stems and it will get in there sort of. So the fact that it's not going to get properly dunked like I would normally do means it'll need doing a little more often. Yeah? Okay. And this is a cheap, nasty little sprayer that don't last anything more than a couple of seconds when you pump the thing up. And it doesn't hold much either. My Maxillara tenuifolia doesn't come out very often for the same reason, so it can have a dunk. There's another couple of cotyledons there that were borderline getting thrown out, but I don't know. Sometimes you have to revisit your orchids, and my cotyledons are getting revisited. I showed a couple yesterday that have finally decided to show signs of life, and oh, if I can get in here, this one is a bad plant. It was a split and it was a bit of fun, but it has actually got some new growths. Yeah, it's even got one coming out the side there. It's not doing very well. And this is another one. These two in these baskets were splits off of that giant when I got it, and bearing in mind I threw probably half of that plant away and this is what's left. It was in a hell of a state. This one's got new growths coming on it. Yeah, they are growths, not spikes, but this one's got quite a few new growths, so it's finally decided to grow. And I'm coming to the conclusions that cotyledons can stall quite badly. This is only based on mine and obviously in my growing environment, but those two have sat in those sort of moss and bark mixed open pots for quite a long time now and have done, well, nothing basically. Yeah, so they're going to get watered a bit more often. They're now in active growth, and while I'm at it, the concrete floor will get covered in water because I think the sun's going to be out today, so that'll help with the humidity. So sometimes it's worth revisiting your orchids. When they stall and they sit there doing nothing, you tend to do the same thing with that orchid. You tend to do not a lot because you sort of lose interest in it, don't you? Because it's not doing anything, but you still got to keep your eye on it. Now, because my cotyledons have decided to move and actually do a bit, I'm also going to move and do a bit. So I'm going to go and revisit their care. I mean, there's a brilliant site just called cotyledons.com. I think the guy's from Australia, and you get quite extensive notes on most of the species that you can get hold of anyway, and also some hybrids. It's a nice site. It's informative. It gives you culture tips on each one, sort of where they're found, how he looks after them. A little word of warning, I think he's Australian. He's in the bottom half of the world. When he's talking summer, up in the top half of the world, we're probably talking winter. So apart from that, it's a brilliant site. And another note, if you venture into the YouTube world, you're going to get a knock now and again. Don't get disheartened, don't get put off. Everybody has people who don't agree with them. Some of them keep quiet, some of them get very vocal. But just on that note, as a little conversation took place this morning, apparently this problem with the rain mix is all my own fault. It's my bad culture. It's because I don't know what I'm doing, apparently. Well, you choose what you believe. I think there's enough people around to specifically say there is a problem, although it only affects certain orchids in certain environments, and some people can be using that stuff and not have any problems at all because it is a good product. But a certain individual had a right go this morning. I'll add in that that individual might have a vested interest in the product because it's actively promoted on his website and he's the only person in the UK that sells it. I'll leave it at that. You choose. Anyway, today's job, I got to get my plants ready to go off to the New Forest show. Oh, as an addition, I don't like people getting snotty on YouTube. We should be nice. But the guy had a go about a certain plant and it sounded like he knew what he was talking about. So I thought I'll go and have a look. And the guy has got an extensive, substantial and beautiful collection of Neos. I've got 2. So chances are he knows a bit more about them than I do. So I thought I'll have a watch of the videos and I'll have a listen. It's good stuff. But then you have to say, like in one video, he shows a Neo in the typical pose, sitting on top of moss, and all the roots are hanging outside. And he emphatically states that this Neo's growing its roots outside. They don't want to be in the moss. And then he proceeds in another video to show repotting Neos squashing all the roots wrapped up in the moss. And in his collection, all of the Neos have got their roots tucked inside moss. There weren't many bare roots showing, and as we know, this problem we've had, or some of us, is to do with bare roots that dry fast. So you can sort of see, you know, maybe there is, maybe there isn't a problem. But I did notice on this huge, extensive Neo collection, there wasn't one bloom. I think I had a bloom on one of mine, didn't I? Yeah. Anyway, plants getting ready to go to the New Forest show. These 2 are going to go because they said they want anything. So they're not having my Psychopsis. They've recently been repotted and the slightest knock is going to disturb the roots. They're not having them. They can have my Vanda. I mean, it's showing a good bloom at the moment, you know, so they can have that. As we all know, that is precious to me. That was given to me by my daughter. If they damage that, they probably won't find the individual for a couple of months. So yeah, the radiata can go. I mean, that's you know, it's got lovely scent. People will sniff it. The Vanda can go. The 2 den fowls can go. They're not having that because the place is a marquee, and I'm pushing my luck with this plant that likes it nice and cool. It's an old-fashioned odont renamed Oncidium, and by bringing it up here so that I can see it, it's now going to be warmer. It's also going to be a bit brighter, but it's only going to be for the duration of those blooms. Then it will go back to its hidey hole near the floor where it's nice and cool, lots of air movement, and the moisture's pretty good. So it's only up there temporarily. I might take the Cattleya with the proviso it's just starting to go. Okay, 1 bloom's gone. And as you know, those of you that have got Cattleyas that have multiple blooms, they do tend to come out in 1s and 2s, and there's always a leader. There's always a forerunner that comes out first. And that was obviously the first one. It's not been knocked or bent, so it's not just keeled over because it's had a bash, it's genuinely going. The chances are those other 4 blooms are going to follow suit quite soon. And the show doesn't start till Tuesday and finishes on Thursday. So I'll let them have that one under the proviso it's probably not going to make the end of the show and still have any blooms on it. But you know, they can hide it at the back or something if the blooms go over. But they can have it. They can definitely have that one because of its interest level. Everybody loves that one. Looks like an alien. So they can have that one. And that's probably about it. They were going to get the Tolumnias, but they're just starting to go, which is a shame. You know, there aren't any more spikes coming at the moment. Boo-hoo. I mean, that one's lost all but 2 of its blooms. This one dropped its first bloom yesterday, and as you can see, that one's just on its way. They change colour as they start to fade. And my species one is dropping 2 or 3 flowers a day now. So, you know, they've done well, and you know, anybody who's in this vicinity who's going to the New Forest show, I'm there on Tuesday and Thursday, I think my rota is. Well, definitely Tuesday anyway, the first day. So if you're around, drop along to the I don't even know where I'm going to be, but it'll be some sort of marquee with plants and stuff in, it will probably be called the Floral Marquee. But it might be full of lovely potatoes and onions and veggies. I don't know, I haven't been before. But if you're around, drop in, and if I'm not on the orchid stand, the Bournemouth Orchid Society stand, then ask somebody, because I'm probably not far away, because I won't be allowed to go far away. I've got to look after the stand and try and get some new members, and we've got a load of orchids to sell to boost our coffers. So I got to sell stuff. I don't like selling stuff, it's not what I do. But anyway, I'll give it a go. It's just going to be Phalaenopsis that are, you know, the mass-produced type stuff, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Somebody wants one of those, I'm sure that's what they want. And I'll keep quiet about what I think about Phalaenopsis, because we've got to sell the flipping things. Okay, just a quick video, and if you get a knock on YouTube, don't take it seriously. It's an open world. If you enter into it, then, you know, there will be good times and bad times. Just don't take it seriously. We all get a dislike now and again. Well, just lump it and think how lucky you are to have had so many likes. Don't get all despondent and put off. Everybody loves the videos on YouTube. We love seeing other people's plants and how they grow them and all that sort of stuff. For goodness sake, don't get put off because of one or two individuals who have a go. Just ignore them. With any luck, they might go away. Anyway, yeah. Enjoy your orchids. Have fun. Bye for now.